welcome to Watching Twin Peaks for the first time.
Holy cow, dude.
Wow.
Don't watch this if you haven't watched Twin Peaks.
Yes, spoiler alert. We are talking about the season 2 finale, which in many ways is the finale of Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
At least for some people. Of course, Twin Peaks has a third season, or some people call it Twin Peaks: The Return. Mm-hmm. And there is the movie that is the prequel.
Yes.
Fire Walk With Me, and we'll be watching those later. But today, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm now in the Twin Peaks fan.
That's right. Well, I think you could now go online if you wanted to, and find out fan theories.
For the return.
That's true. You might as well wait.
I gotta wait.
You might as well wait.
We'll have to do it once we finish, because we're gonna finish soon enough.
Yeah.
We gotta do look at these fan theories, and we'll give our opinions. I think that'd be fun.
Oh, that would be fun,
right?
And just keep talking about Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Well, wow.
Holy cow.
So before we get to our usual thing of showing images and having you talk about it, tell us what were the emotions you felt when you saw the final episode of season 2?
Okay, so the final episode of season 2 is it's kind of a downer. I liked all of it. That's the weird thing, is that I was sad, but I also didn't get the feeling, when you watch the last episode of, for example,
Friends, The Office, what do you think?
Third Rock from the Sun, because I cried.
She cried.
Or MASH.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I cried.
Oh, MASH is hard.
Wow, yeah.
But I wasn't sad. I guess because I know that there's going to be another season.
Okay.
That probably helps.
That's true.
But it's this sucks. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, this sucks.
So
this thing sucks.
So you felt like it was a well-made,
it's well-made
cinematic experience.
And I liked
but emotionally it sucked.
Yeah. And it's I didn't expect what was going to happen, so I was appreciative of that because it, didn't turn out the way I thought.
That reminds me, we have the list of predictions.
Yeah.
I'm going to run downstairs and get the predictions.
Go. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
You guys can talk, say secret things.
Okay, secret things. Secret things.
When I run down those stairs, I always feel like Sarah Palmer.
Oh my God.
Laura. All right.
So sad. She didn't come back, did she?
She did.
Oh, that's right. But she wasn't in a book club, sadly.
Yes.
I got some big things right. You know what I mean? But not all the way.
You predicted that Wyndham Earl would probably kill Leo.
Okay, I think I'm correct there. Leo's tied up and he's holding onto a box of spiders with his teeth. And
so it ends with...
I think he dies.
It ends with this
I don't think
image.
he knows how to get out of that.
Yeah, and because it's a day has passed and he's still...
He's still there.
One of my favorite moments. Oh, by the way, we're talking about not just the finale, but the episode before the finale.
Yeah.
So
because they're 2 episodes.
Yes, so we're treating them as one kind of episode, merging them together. So it's the Miss Twin Peaks episode, and then Dale Cooper entering the Black Lodge. And after Dale has gone into the Black Lodge, we have this scene where these folks are hanging out at the diner, and Bobby and Shelley talking about hey, let's get married. And Shelley says, hey, I'm still married to Leo.
I'm still married to Leo.
Leo's off in the woods having a good time
of his life.
And there he is. There he
is with a box of spiders.
Okay, so that's possibly correct. He might be. You wanted to see.
My hope for Leo is that in season 3, that he will be a skeleton, but that the string will still be in his mouth.
There will be a skeleton version of this connected to generations of spiders.
Yeah.
In the box.
That's the hope.
All right. And I think you predicted that you thought that maybe Andy or maybe the sheriff would kill Wyndham Earl.
Yeah.
And that is not what happened. But here we have this fascinating scene where he comes into taunt Leo, and look at his face and look at his teeth.
His teeth are black.
And we see him later on in the episode. We see him disguised as the log lady, which is really...
It was the first costume that fooled us, and we were so excited. We were like, the log lady can teleport? And then we were like, oh my God, it's Wyndham Earl!
And I had, because it's been so long since I've seen it, I forgot that he dressed up as the log lady.
It was so good.
And I was like, yes, I forgot it.
Good costume.
Yes, so he does a great job with this costume.
Yeah, it was very
and so
good.
when I was looking at this, I was like, is that stage makeup? Is he getting ready for another to put spirit
another
gum?
costume?
But why do you think his face looks like that? Why do you think his teeth are black?
I think it has something to do with Leo's mental state. I don't think that that's actually how he looks.
Oh, okay, so you think that
because we're seeing it when we do it. It's like shaky cam, and it's like up at him.
Okay, so
I thought Leo's like, oh crap, he's going crazy.
I was interpreting it that he had been out looking for the Black Lodge entrance.
Oh, and he drank that sludge.
That he had some of the sludge or something like that.
I kind of like that. That'd be fun.
Except I don't know if that makes sense because it seems like
he doesn't find it.
Well, it seems like later. Yeah, if he doesn't find the entrance until the end, and I don't think he finds the little sludge pool.
Yeah.
I don't think he has access to the oil at that point.
Yeah.
And also when we see him in other places, granted he's in disguise, but he doesn't have the black teeth and stuff like that. So it might be Leo's vision.
Yeah. Or maybe he uses charcoal toothpaste. We don't know. Yeah. We can't judge him.
You also predicted that that Richard Tremaine was going to be connected with Bob in some way.
Yeah,
and that hasn't panned out,
which is sad because he should be.
Let's see. You predicted that as far as like the contestants of Miss Twin Peaks, you predicted that Shelley was going to win Miss Twin Peaks,
and so did Leo. To be fair,
Leo thought that was going to happen too. Yeah, he was very worried about Shelley.
Yeah.
Do you? By the way, speaking of Leo, do you feel sorry for Leo by the end?
It's not even Leo at the end. Like we can't look at that person.
Do you feel sorry for this person?
Yes.
Okay.
How can you not?
So
I feel sorry if that was just regular Leo.
This person that started off as Leo has been transformed because of injury and time.
Yeah.
Okay, which is interesting.
And drugs.
And a lot of manipulation. All right, so Annie becomes the Miss Twin Peaks, which makes her even more of a target. Even if she didn't win Miss Twin Peaks,
I still think
it seems like she would be the target of Wyndham Earl. So this moment surprised you.
Yes.
Bobby gets clobbered by Wyndham Earl Log Lady.
I was very confused. To be fair, he doesn't have a round log. He has like a section, like something he put on the fire because it's a triangle.
Okay.
And so I was like, why does the log lady have a triangle log? So that was the worst part of the
first thing you noticed was like, that's not the log lady, but it's like, that's not the log lady's log.
Yeah, that's not the log lady's log. That's the first thing that I noticed when we were watching it. I was like,
the log lady's cheating on her.
The log lady has a different log.
She's playing around.
Yes.
Now you got this right. You said you think that Ben Horne will continue to go on his quest to being good.
I think he's just going to continue.
I like this shot. So here he is. He's looking at all the sort of the Bible and all the books of philosophical and spiritual goodness.
Yeah.
But there's like this hellish fire behind
and she's
him.
Dressed in red.
And she's kind of looking away from him. Ben Horne seems to be trying to tell Donna something. Every clue is pointing towards
I'm your father.
Yeah, Ben being Donna's father.
Yeah. I feel like I still love my pet theory that Donna is his and his wife's child, and they just switched. They just switched the babies.
Oh, that Audrey?
That Audrey's not their biological child at all.
You still like the idea that Audrey and Donna
are
switched
at birth. Sisters or switched
at birth.
Yeah.
So Sarah Palmer does come back.
She does.
You predicted she was going to be starting a book club.
No, I predicted she was going to be in a book club. Not starting.
That's way too progressive. So you thought like, okay. And for all we know, maybe she has joined a book club. This looks like it could have been the start of a book club.
It does. I would go to that book club.
So Dr. Jacoby shows up with Sarah Palmer. Sarah Palmer kind of has her eyes crossed. Do you remember what she says?
She says something about the Black Lodge, doesn't she?
She says, I am in the lodge with Dale Cooper.
That's right. So it must be
and something and she's saying that,
but it's not her voice.
It's not her voice. We were watching it with subtitles, and with subtitles, I think it said distorted voice, but it also said Wyndham Earl's distorted voice. Nice. Which I don't know if I would have picked up on that idea without the subtitle clue.
I like thinking that it's actually Laura saying those things. I'm in the Black Lodge with.
Well,
Dale
I don't know
Cooper.
that we should trust what the subtitles say.
I think
as
that
canon.
it's actually going to be Laura is speaking through her.
There was like a deep male quality to the voice, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Yeah, and it might be the actor that played Wyndham Earle to do the voice.
That's right.
So we don't know what it is.
So you think that it might be Laura speaking through her. Mm-hmm. It's kind of when it fades to the curtains, and I think that the voice keeps talking. I think it's something like "Come and get me" or "Come and join us." Oh, okay. Something like that.
It's not about gum. I feel like
it's not about gum, but it seems to be sort of directly towards Major Briggs, saying, "Hey,
come get us
here." So if it is Wyndham Earle, then it's almost like, okay, I've got my enemy number 1, Dale Cooper. Now Major Briggs is enemy number 2. So so come on and get in here. So we're going to get deep into the Black Lodge stuff, but before we do, we've got to talk about 3 more things. Okay. So Benjamin Horne, I don't have a photo of this, but so we forgot. So
Benjamin Horne gets
when he's trying to confess whatever about the paternal truth of Donna, then Dr. Hayward comes in and messes Benjamin Horne up. And do you think Benjamin Horne dies there? Because he gets thrown against the fireplace, falls down, and he's all bloody on his forehead.
I hope not. We see the doctor later on.
Well, that's the thing, is that that it looks like Ben Horne could be dead, or in a coma, or really bad off. Yeah. But then
the doctor's like, I'm gonna help you.
At the very end of the last episode, we see Doc Hayward when Dale Cooper is waking up.
So that means one of 2 things could happen. It means the doctor just destroys Ben, murders him in cold blood, and hides him
in front of
his
Ben Horne's wife
and his wife.
Whether or not we believe that Ben Horne is really on the path to goodness, and I kind of think that he is, that he's honestly trying. By the way, I think in part he's honestly trying because of I think what we're learning is that trauma, emotional and physical trauma, transforms us.
Yes.
And we see that with Nadine.
Yeah.
It's kind of a trope, right? Nadine has had, when she was in a coma after almost killing herself, then she wakes up and she's different, or at least she's reverted back to a younger self. And in some ways is different because she's moved on from Ed and is going over to Mike. And now she's got bonked on the head.
Bonk.
And she has no idea that she reverted to being high school.
Right. She's looking for curtains.
Yeah. She wants her curtains. She's, why is Norma here? And she's basically kind of woken up from this stupor or this dream, and is now going to possibly spoil things with them. So I'm skipping ahead, but
also Josie's not in the box. Let me just say that. Sadly,
let's talk about what's in the box. So Catherine, her brother Andrew, and Pete are fascinated by what's in the box, and they find out that there's a key that leads to the safety deposit box. This is, I enjoyed watching this again.
Yeah.
I remember watching it when I watched it for the first time.
Yeah.
It drove me crazy.
I loved it.
I wanted to find out what was going on with Dale Cooper in the lodge.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to spend 10 minutes watching an old guy walk around the bank. And it seemed, and watching it again, it didn't seem as slow as I remember it.
Yeah.
But at the time, I just was like,
just tell me.
So this is a long, drawn-out scene that ends with the explosion of the bomb.
Holy cow.
So it seems like the old men, Pete and Andrew, must be dead.
Yeah.
The explosion, which goes outside, when you saw the windows, bust out, you said Audrey's dead.
Audrey's dead.
So do you think Audrey is dead?
I think Audrey's dead.
You think Audrey's dead?
Yeah. Or plot twist, she's in a wheelchair, because that'd be kind of fun. We've already seen some characters in wheelchairs, and Audrey Horne in a wheelchair seems pretty kick-ass.
That's true. But perhaps we'll find out more.
Hopefully.
25 years later.
Or we won't. And Meanwhile.
So you think that Audrey is probably dead?
Yeah, probably dead. If she's not, she's injured in some way that we'll see.
And then if she is dead, then it's also sort of like, how does that affect Benjamin Horne?
Oh my God, I hope he takes, if Audrey is dead and he is the father of
Donna,
I hope he takes Donna under his wing and they become the best business people in the world. That'd be cool.
That would be nice. Well, I want good things to happen for these characters because I like these characters.
Me too.
And since we spent so much time talking about Nadine being a possible culprit, you were kind of saying you've already sort of talked about why she might change back and forth. I like that idea of things going in and out of the lodges. Mm-hmm. But in a more practical sense, what do you predict is going to happen between Nadine and Ed and Norma? And maybe Mike too. Yeah. With this little love triangle.
I know Mike really does seem to be in love.
It seems like it. He's apologetic. Like really, he's like, I let this get out of hand.
And he's like, I love you. Let's get married.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And
it's interesting. The bully characters, Mike and Bobby, by the end of the show, they're like, hey,
we're pretty cool.
Yeah. It's like, let's get married. Yeah. I've done some bad things. Yeah. I'm going to try to be better.
Right.
I don't know that they will, but they seem genuinely like they want to.
It's like you want Ben Horne to succeed, same as you want Mike and Bobby to succeed.
Yeah.
Because you want them to escape this craziness.
Sure.
They're trapped in it as much as everyone else is. Even more so because they're trapped in their head too.
Yeah.
But with Nadine and Ed and Norma and Mike, I feel like Nadine is just gonna be. I don't think that they're gonna get a divorce.
Yeah.
I don't think so because Ed's too much of a I'm gonna stand by her because I shot her in the eye. Kind of guy.
So do you think if these actors are in the return, or if the characters are in the return? Do you think that Ed and Nadine will still be married?
I think they will.
Do you think Norma will still be around? Do you think
Norma will still be around, but and they'll be an affair, but I think that it's just where it is.
So it's what it is.
There's no happy ending for them. It's not gonna happen.
So, as if all that stuff wasn't crazy enough, let's get into this place.
Oh my goodness, I love
that may or may not be the Black Lodge.
I think it's the White and Black Lodge. They say one and the same.
Well, let's get to it. Some people call it the waiting room. Some because I think that's what the little man says.
Little man.
So it might be a stop along the way into the Black Lodge, or it might be the Black Lodge itself, or maybe it's the Black and White Lodge. Who knows? So it starts off with this singer.
Which, by the way, this is the voice that I thought the Sarah Palmer was talking in. That's the voice that I thought it was. Because it really sounds like it. It did remind me. When we got there, I was like, that's the person who was talking.
Do you remember any of the lyrics from this song?
No. Nope.
So I think the song's called Under the Sycamore Tree.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, they repeat the sycamore tree, and they're surrounded by sycamore trees.
They go into the circle of sycamore trees. And if somebody says, hey, why don't you meet me under the willow tree or under the apple tree or under the sycamore tree, you think that you're like going to be under the blooming tree aspect.
Yeah.
But with this hellish aspect under the sycamore tree and entering this world, it's like we're actually going under. Yeah. Like we're going under this existing world.
Sycamore trees are usually, or a lot of times they were used as hanging trees.
Ooh.
So that's also a little bit creepy.
Ooh.
So gross.
Yeah. So it's dark foreboding kind of things.
Yeah.
All right. So the singer fades away, and then Dale is encountering different characters. I don't know if I have this in the correct order.
Okay, that's okay.
But we see our friend.
Oh my god.
Who's saying coffee. They
all talk backwards.
Yes, they're talking in the cool backwards dream, like in Dale Cooper's original dream. Which now we don't know if was that a dream or was that
did he go?
Was that a memory of the future?
True.
Right?
Maybe he went.
So then we see these guys.
Yeah.
And
one and the same.
He says one and the same. Now what I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I am not supposed to know, but so we talked about how it seemed like the old man and the giant were one and the same. So we see those two guys. We see the guy delivering coffee. Then we see the giant, and he sits down and he says one and the same. So is one and the same? What do you think he's talking about? Because it could be it's like the old man character and the giant character are one and the same. The Black Lodge and the White Lodge are one and the same.
Right.
The dwarf and the tall giant are one and the same.
I kind of saw it as the tall man and the old man are one and the same, and the Black Lodge and the White Lodge are one and the same. But that is just because I want the White Lodge and the Black Lodge to be the same thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're interpreting it as like we call it the White Lodge, we call it the Black Lodge. This is the same place.
Yeah.
So if we just called it the Lodge, is the Lodge just does it have these apparitions depending on what you bring to it?
I think so.
So if Major Briggs,
feeding off of you.
If Major Briggs goes into the Lodge, he's surrounded by the greenery and this like the stone.
But he's also made it through the Black Lodge, I assume, since he's talked about making it.
Well, but that's the thing is like if it's the same, is there something to go through?
That's
Hawk
true.
talks about how you got to go through the Black Lodge and you'll
to get to the White Lodge.
You'll see like you'll face your greatest fear, and then you get to the White Lodge.
Yeah.
But that so that could be.
Major Briggs seems like he probably could face his fears.
It seems like it. It seems like it. Do you remember what his greatest fear is?
Oh,
No. He tells Wyndham Earl when he's got the truth serum.
That's right. What does he say?
Well, you know what's interesting about it is that at the time I thought that it was just kind of a funny line.
Yeah, but it's a truth serum.
But I mean, I thought it was like, oh, that's funny that he said that because it's such a kind of sweet, endearing thing to say. Wyndham Earl kind of laughs it off.
Yeah.
But I think that he says that his greatest fear is that love is not enough.
That's right.
Which has, at first it seemed like, it's like, it's like he likes all, the Beatles, all you need is love. He's worried that, love's not enough for things. But in terms of passing this lodge and this facing this evil and whatever all this malicious stuff is, that could be a genuine fear.
Right. And Cooper is trying to go through the Black Lodge / White Lodge because of love.
Yeah.
And love does not.
And love opens.
Love is not enough for this.
Yeah. Wyndham Earl. Let's talk about Wyndham Earl's possible demise. A
prediction about next series or the next one. That because I know Bob is not coming back, so I think Wyndham Earl might take the place of Bob. He might become Bob because we know that they can shift their perspective. You know what I mean? They can take on a new identity.
So the physical form of Wyndham Earl might be Bob. Might replace Frank Silva's performance as Bob.
Yeah.
This when Laura Palmer appears.
Yeah.
Assuming that this is Laura Palmer's spirit.
Yeah.
Or let me ask you that: is Laura Palmer's spirit in this lodge or this waiting room, or is this something else?
I think this is her spirit.
Okay, so
I think it's the waiting room.
Okay, so it's like the spiritual waiting room.
Yeah.
And so she says, "I'll see you again in 25 years," which is, I think, my all-time favorite artistic promise.
Yes.
That's fulfilled.
Yeah.
Because David Lynch has this line, and I don't know what he was thinking when he made this line. Because I don't know. I think I have a feeling a lot of this David Lynch is like, let's do this, and let's put this. It's like I'm in a creative fever dream right now.
Yeah.
And so to fulfill this artistic promise, to give us this cliffhanger, and then 25 years later, it's like, here it is.
You might have died during this time. People died. People watched this series and then they died before there was ever even the idea of the next return. You know what I mean? Like there's people who have died and they watched it and they were like, that's interesting. And they never knew. You know what I mean?
Do you think on their deathbed, it's like, I wonder what happened to Dale Cooper?
I don't think so, but maybe. I'm sure there was some diehard fans that were older.
Probably.
You know?
So she says this here. Now, then what happens is that the little man has weird eyes and he starts saying doppelganger. And a doppelganger is what?
It's like a person? What do you mean?
I just wanted to make sure that you knew the definition of doppelganger.
It's like two people.
Yes. So
it's like one's a fake.
So one's
thing,
yeah. So
usually.
it's an apparition that looks like
it's not a twin.
Yeah, it's not a biologically related twin.
Yeah, there's doppelgangers in D&D.
Yes, and so
they're basically shapeshifters.
So in Dungeons and Dragons, they're shapeshifters, and so they can take on whatever form they see. So then we see this scary version of Laura.
Yeah.
What did you think? What do you think this is?
She's waiting. I think that's a doppelganger. I'm led to assume that by her eyes.
Because of the eyes, right?
Yeah.
Here's the interesting thing. If I observe this correctly, one of the scenes where we see the doppelganger of Laura, and then she starts screaming and looking really scary. And by the way, a screaming Laura Palmer is perhaps as frightening as seeing Bob crawling across the couch.
Yeah.
There's something that freaks me out. So in the midst of her scream, we see this flash. For a moment.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. Is it Wyndham Earl?
It's Wyndham Earl.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so
then it becomes
here's the thing. So
his lover.
Is that so if we see this screaming Laura that's a doppelganger, and then we see this flash of Wyndham Earl.
Oh my God, is Wyndham Earl
actually in a successful disguise?
He is,
because he's wanted to be this disguise artist.
Oh my God, that's
and
what
so
he's
now he's like, hey, so all of those we see the apparition of Caroline and Annie and Laura. And Caroline and or / Annie and Dale Cooper are standing kind of facing each other. And then eventually we cut to and we see that Wyndham Earl is standing in front of him. So I'm under the impression that Wyndham Earl within this lodge or the waiting room is putting on these doppelganger costumes.
Yeah, I can agree with that actually, because he does seem like he's a force for evil or force for bad. That he is like stronger here, which would make sense.
Well, he wants to be claiming power here, right? He thinks that this is going to be his playground.
Yeah.
And maybe for a while it is. But then this happens. So tell us about this moment.
Oh my gosh. So Wyndham Earl, bang boom, kills Dale Cooper, basically. And
before kills, but what does he do? There's a deal that's made.
Yeah. He's gonna take his soul.
He says basically
like
Annie will be free if you give me your soul.
Right. And then he's like,
and Dale Cooper agrees.
Yeah. Yeah, which is pretty brave of him.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
But I don't know that you would trust that guy.
Wyndham Earl?
Yeah.
No. But Dale Cooper makes that bargain.
Yeah.
Wyndham Earl stabs him.
And then back up. And he says, "You can't make that deal," says Bob. And he takes Wyndham Earl. I assume.
Yeah. And Wyndham Earl, look how scared he is here.
So scared. And then he blows up.
Yeah, the fire shoots out of his head, and then
2 explosions in one
and so
episode.
What do you think happens to Wyndham Earl there?
I assume that he's like taken into the force of Bob. Like his all of the bad things about him are like squeezed down into a little juice and added to the pile. Yeah. That's what I assume. Or I predict.
So he's he's squeezed into a little juice.
Yeah, a little juice. And then like in a metaphoric way.
Yeah.
Like all of the bad stuff is like, okay, we don't need any of this extra stuff, only the bad stuff. And here it is, and pour it in the rest of the bad juice.
And if you were going to visually represent that, what would it look like?
Oh, it would be like a green sludge.
A green sludge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like orange juice, except like orange juice with pulp.
Would it look like the hospital food?
Yeah, it probably would.
So it wouldn't look like the burnt, scorched oil.
No, it wouldn't look like that. Although it could look like that. But when I was imagining it,
that's how you imagine it. Okay, pulpy. Good. Yeah. So Bob here is saying, what's interesting is that Bob
likes rules.
Bob likes rules, but he says something about that Dale can go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like you can go, I'm keeping this guy. But
that's not what happened.
Well, Dale Cooper he leaves that area, but he's not like when
he's not left.
He's not leaving the Black Lodge. Right. He's trying to get out of the Black Lodge. So here's the thing: does Dale Cooper? He bravely sacrifices himself when he's in front of Wyndham Earl.
Yeah.
So he's very brave there.
Yeah.
But does he give into fear by the end of this episode when he's trying to get away from? There's a doppelganger that then follows him.
Oh yeah, and of himself.
He sees Leland. Is this a Leland doppelganger? Is this Leland spirit? What is this?
Well, he has the eyes of a doppelganger.
He's got the eyes. And I don't know that the eyes necessarily mean doppelganger. Yeah. It might just mean like
you're in the Black Lodge.
You're tainted. You're in the Black Lodge. Yeah. It's your poison soul.
Well, I mean, like it kind of goes with my theory of like same lodge, just different parts.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, Leland, the Leland that we saw die in Dale Cooper's arms is in the White Lodge, but this Leland is here on the Black Lodge side.
So that goes back to Hawk saying, I believe in many souls.
Yeah.
And so
this is
like a Horcrux, you can get like split.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Is there any possibility then that this is, instead of a doppelganger, that this is actually Dale Cooper's soul?
Yes. Yeah.
That's following him?
And anyone that we see. So I think also for Laura, because there are some bad parts of Laura.
All right. So this might not be the costume that I was talking about. This might be, here's a good Laura, and here's a not so good Laura.
Right.
And they're all in the same place.
Right.
Depending on if you're in the White Lodge or the Black Lodge. Yeah. So it's interesting, right? Yeah. Thinking that this could be actually Dale Cooper's dark side.
Right. And his White Lodge side is left in the White Lodge, but only the Black Lodge Dale Cooper leaves.
Ooh.
That's kind of
Here's one of my favorite moments when he looks at the camera.
And he gives us a little Jim smile.
Yeah,
yeah, they do look like they're having a bit of fun.
Yeah. So then they, for a long time in this room, they're at the series of curtains. They keep running. The little man says "wrong way," and so Dale Cooper obviously gets lost and disoriented and can't get out. And eventually the bad one catches up to him. Now then Dale Cooper wakes up in his bed at the actually before that happens, we see them
leave.
We see the sheriff and Annie.
Annie has a head injury on her forehead.
Do you think that she's alive?
I think she's alive.
They do say that she's alive.
Yeah,
actually.
And I think that at least for a short amount of time, Bob inhabited her. You know what I mean? And she hit her head on something.
Oh, because
that's what everybody does.
Yeah, why did she have that? That's an interesting idea.
So that's my theory of why she
So
has
in
that.
the lodge,
she's like, no! Which is an interesting idea because you can actually get hurt in the lodge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dale Cooper doesn't get hurt, necessarily.
Yeah. Even though things were happening to him and he saw himself bleeding and stuff like that, he's out
some
unscathed.
Injuries are permanent.
And I wonder if her head injury in the lodge means that whatever she did successfully resisted Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Because Annie has a very spiritual background.
Yeah. She's walk been in the Valley of Death.
Maybe. I mean, when Wyndham Earl is dragging her through the forest, she's reciting scripture. It doesn't protect her enough that once she's in the sycamore tree, she's kind of hypnotized and walks in there.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is that she's just walking. She's not trying to run away. She's just walking.
Yeah.
And that's when we know, we think we know, is what you have to get through the lodge, right? You have to walk through it. You can't run. And so it's interesting.
Walk with me. Not run around.
Her demeanor just changes and she's just like, I need to just get through this. That's what I interpreted her as. Because it is oh man, she's kind of hypnotized. But at the same time, maybe it's just her trying to get through it.
This is what
this is what I gotta go.
The challenge has begun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. So when you saw Dale Cooper wake up, what did you think was going on? Before you see the mirror scene.
Before I saw the mirror scene, I was like, something's gonna be wrong.
Yeah.
Something's gonna be wrong. When he said, I need to brush my teeth, and he got up, I was like, no, don't do that. No. And also, I'm always a little wary in when you go into the bathroom at night, dark night, and you turn on the light and you look in the mirror and you're brushing your teeth. That's one of the worst feelings in the world. I already hate mirrors.
Feeling
you're looking at yourself, right? You don't want to look in the background of the mirror. You don't want to look off to the side. And
if I remember correctly, when he first goes in the bathroom and starts doing the thing with when he
puts the toothpaste
when he starts doing the toothpaste on, just like squeezing it out, Mackenzie's like, oh no, no. But when she saw this, her brain broke.
Yeah, I was like, we can't film. We can't film. I think that was the first thing I said. I was like, we need to wait.
Yeah.
We need to wait.
Yeah, we didn't, because a lot of times we watch an episode and we go right away.
Yeah.
But we waited a couple days.
Yeah, it's been like
to
2
settle
days.
This. And
because it was so much.
And you had a nightmare. So tell us about your Twin Peaks dream.
Yeah. So after we watched this episode, it was kind of later in the day, and I went to bed, and I had a nightmare about Dale Cooper and Bob and all of, like, being in Twin Peaks. Like, the dream took place in Twin Peaks, and people were like trying to kill me, and it was all very, very interesting with like the plot, and it was like, oh man, I'm gonna get killed. But the main thing was that I just needed to get to work. I just needed to get to work. And so I was like, I gotta get out of this town. I gotta drive for 4 hours. I had this specific number of like, I need to get to work.
Yeah.
And I only have 4 hours. I need to start driving.
And that makes me think,
get there.
That makes me think of Twin Peaks so much, because there's all this craziness going on. Yeah. But the people of Twin Peaks, like, I gotta
get to the diner.
Yeah. I got my shift starts in 15 minutes. I
really gotta get out of here.
Yeah, so I think you were swearing up a storm too.
Yeah,
I
was. I couldn't do it because it was too much.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
To sort of take apart, get away from the emotional impact of this. This, I think, filming wise, is an incredible scene, right? Because they're not doing this digitally or with computers. They must have an additional room.
Oh my god, it's a piece of glass?
I think it's just a piece of glass.
That's pretty cool.
And there's, I think, help me out, because I haven't, I'm lazy. I haven't done the research to find the making of, but it looks like there's just another room on the other side that they made, like as part of the set.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going on.
Which is really cool.
They've made a very practical effect with the light on the other side.
With the little light right there, I think you're right. Because there's like just a little bit of the glare from the other light.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah. So
cool.
and to think of how, like, Lynch knew, like, this is the end of the show. Nobody's renewed this show.
Yeah.
And so not only am I going to have Dale Cooper,
your
get
favorite
possessed.
Character.
Yeah, that's going to happen. But I'm also going to go out of the way to sort of build this, this really well constructed scene.
Yeah.
So I really respect his ending visions.
Absolutely. It's also like, you watch it, and I was sad because it's like, oh, it's Dale Cooper.
Yeah.
Darn. Even though I know Dale Cooper's not perfect, I've said it about him again and again.
But he's a character most of us really root for Dale Cooper, and we want him to,
because he's so much like the viewers.
Yeah.
You're like, oh wow, he's looking at all this stuff. I'm interested in this stuff too.
He's entering the town and falling in love with the town. Yeah. We're falling in love with the town. He's trying to fight evil. We're hopefully in support of fighting.
Although
fighting
if Nadine was actually Bob, dude, do you know how quick I would have turned on Dale? If Nadine was Bob.
You'd be on Team Nadine.
I would be on Team Nadine. If Nadine was Bob, I'd be on Team Nadine.
Oh wow.
Anyways.
So the last lines are, how's Annie?
How's Annie?
How's Annie?
That's so sad.
Yeah, so here's what we need to do.
Okay.
You and I are going to watch Fire Walk with me.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then we're going to wait 25 years so you will know the agony that I went through. Waiting to find out what happened.
Life is too short for that. Like, it bugs me thinking, like, it's like, wow, that's really a cool concept that he waited 25 years. But, like, I just keep thinking, like, there were fans.
You're sad for the Twin Peaks fans that died during those 25 years.
Yeah, I am. It's annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. It's cool that they waited that long. But, like, if they waited another 25 years, David Lynch is going to be dead.
Well,
you know? Like,
all right. So, since Mackenzie is part of the instant gratification generation,
yep, that's me.
We're going to keep this Twin Peaks train rolling. And we're going to be watching Fire Walk with me and analyzing the heck out of that, getting your first time viewing responses. And then we're going to head straight into Twin Peaks: The Return.
We gotta do it.
So hopefully we will have enough time
in full, I think
to watch and discuss it. And I'm interested in hearing your responses and coming up with some responses of my own.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Well, if you've joined us so far, thank you so much for watching this incredible journey with us.
Yeah.
We've finished watching the original series of Twin Peaks, and we're going to delve into the world of Twin Peaks in its other incarnations. So thanks very much. What else do you want to say?
Oh, I want to say thank you to this show because I have new hand motions. I just realized I've been doing this and I've been doing this a lot because of this show. This one's like, I was going to contact the police, and this one's like, good job.
Gordon? Yeah.
Gordon?
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. We'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.